But next, we're going to move into the prove section of the event. And Harri, a Red Badger product director, will be taking you through ShareThyme. And as I mentioned earlier before, ShareThyme is a proof of concept that we built in just 8 days and have since tested it in the wild for several months since. And then having validated the idea, it's now ready to scale, and the first coalition has already started to form to take it onto the next phase. So Harri can tell us more. Harri, over to you.
Thank you, Kane. That's a very difficult act to follow. Thank you, Matthew, for your insight. That was amazing. Hi, everybody. So I think when it comes down to it, one of the biggest challenges with addressing some of the world's biggest problems is, where do you even begin? And often that's the biggest blocker to get over, because we believe the problem is so large that no idea or initiative will have a significant impact on what we're trying to achieve. However, it's an unfounded belief. You know, many small initiatives are able to deliver incremental value fast and begin to chip away at some of these challenges. And an example of this is our social value platform, ShareThyme, which I'm going to talk about, which led us up to our first mission around human connection and loneliness. As Kane mentioned, it's very much aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which is about ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all at all ages. So although globally major progress is being made in increasing life expectancy and quality of life through better access to healthcare, this by itself is not without its own challenges. And the importance of human connection shouldn't be underestimated. Fundamentally, we're all inherently social animals, but modern ways of living often reduce the quantity and quality of our social relationships. As a result, loneliness is seen by many as one of the largest health concerns we face today, and something we were really passionate about addressing with our first mission. It's really shocking, actually, when you start to review the facts around loneliness. I did some research and was staggered to learn that loneliness is as bad for your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, worse for you than being obese, makes you more likely to suffer from dementia, heart disease, and depression, and ultimately increases your risk of death by 29%. The issue of loneliness can affect anyone, but it is a particular issue in the elderly. According to the Red Cross, in the UK, there are 9 million people who would consider themselves always or often lonely, and 4 million of them are over the age of 65. In the UK, as we know, we have an ageing population, and this issue is only going to become larger in the next few years, and it's been exacerbated by coronavirus. So much so that the government has listed the ageing society as one of their grand challenges in their industrial strategy. The reason many people, particularly over the age of 65, find constant loneliness hard to overcome is because they lack in friendship and support networks and are less able to meet people and create new connections, particularly in our current world. When we started thinking about ways we could impact this sustainable development goal, we identified loneliness early on as something close to our hearts and a sensitive topic that we wanted to address. So we started thinking, was there a way we could use technology to alleviate or even solve this problem? Speed to impact was our focus, and even with a very limited amount of time, it's actually amazing what can be achieved. I think, taking some of the principles that Matthew talked about earlier, we have a rapid validation approach, and we went from 150 ideas to a live prototype, bringing people together through our intergenerational cooking platform, ShareThyme, in just 8 days. The concept of ShareThyme is very, very simple. It's a platform that connects older people who love to cook with younger people who want to learn new recipes. Older people sign up as a teacher and create a profile like this one, and younger people are able to browse teachers and their recipes and request a cooking session. So we came up with the idea, but obviously that's just an idea at that point. So we want to go and test it, and we tested it with the general public and received an overwhelming response. And we built and launched a proof of concept, as I said, in 8 days, and began running cooking sessions between pairs of younger and older people. Cooking really does bring people together. The feedback and stories we've heard from running these sessions has been inspirational. From Denny, a grandmother who hadn't cooked with anyone since her children had left home, to Kate's delight in discovering the number of things in common with someone 30 years her senior. These stories have only motivated us to continue and shape the proposition further. And we want to improve and grow the platform. We've also been picked up by the press, and to date we've been featured in the BBC, in the Telegraph and in Design Week magazine, and we've been voted a world-changing idea by Fast Company. It's amazing how something so small can have impact. But what's next? I mean, the positive feedback and the recognition that we've got is great, but it's only motivated us to continue. So our goal is to create more human connections and bring 1,000 people together across 30 countries and provide older people with 1,500 hours time spent cooking. However, we originally designed the ShareThyme cooking experience to be in person, which is pretty hard in the current climate. So we need to start thinking about how we facilitate remote cooking sessions. Just due to the audience, this will require some fundamental changes of the platform and careful consideration of user experience, particularly for people who may be less tech savvy. As we continue to grow the platform, we need partners and support to help drive awareness, to expand the platform itself, and ultimately we want to reach the most lonely people in society. So if you're interested in understanding how you can get involved in ShareThyme, or equally if you have any recombinant ideas to support this initiative, we'd love to hear from you. So ShareThyme is just one example of many, perhaps, of how we can begin chipping away at the mission to create meaningful human connections and impact wellbeing at all ages. If nothing else, coronavirus has rapidly changed the world we live in, and it's taught us all that we need to be able to respond in days, not months. So we want to do more to have impact at scale. We know we can make things happen quickly, and we know that we can have impact, but we really want to learn from like-minded individuals that share our passion and from industry experts. And we want to co-create new ideas to impact this mission further.